as many know, in the MMA world, sometimes it takes a while before you find just that right little spot weight class for you. But for these guys, well, it took a lot of searching. And I'll start this video off talking about Denis Tiuliulin, the Russian UFC middleweight, who in his career has fought as high as light heavyweight, fought as low as lightweight. Like, how does that even happen? And not only did he manage to fight at these different weight classes, he started at light heavyweight, fought at welterweight, and then moved to lightweight within a 4-year period. And now he's a middleweight again. How did he even manage to get to lightweight? I don't know. But it's always perplexed me looking at his record that this man literally had a lightweight fight. Like, if you look at him, he's a big guy. And he somehow, some way, has made the lightweight limit. Like, it just perplexes me with the weight cutting and everything. What did this guy do? Like, what type of black magic was he using to get down to the lightweight limit? Like, and on top of that, he fought at light heavyweight, so he's obviously, he's a big guy. And he made lightweight. Like, think about that. Denis Tiuliulin fought in the same weight division as like a Gregor Gillespie or a Ally Quinta type fighter. It doesn't. It just boggles the mind when I think about it. Now, moving on, we talk about Manny Bermudez. Now, he still hasn't found the right weight class, apparently, because Manny has fought at bantamweight. He missed weight. And so he thought, you know what, I'll move up to featherweight so I can make weight, and I'll get a performance bonus, or I can get my full pay. Well, no, he moves up to featherweight, then he misses weight by 2 pounds. Then he gets cut from the UFC, and he says, well, I don't really want to miss weight at featherweight, so I'll move up to lightweight. What happens? He moves up to lightweight and misses weight by 2.8 pounds at lightweight. He weighed in at 158 pounds. What happened to this man to make him not be able to make weight? He literally had back-to-back-to-back weight misses. That is, like, actually impressive that he managed to pull that off. But I feel like before long we'll be seeing Manny Bermudez in there on the regional scene against Tyron Woodley maybe at welterweight, because he'll probably miss weight at welterweight. This man just can't make weight. It actually perplexes me how this man managed to miss weight at that many different weight classes. Like, he moved up 20 pounds and still miss weight like that. Yeah, that is just insane to me. Now, moving on, we're going to talk about the pound for pound number one. Like, many people know about Alexander Volkanovski's welterweight fights. That's where he had his only loss outside of the UFC, which was against Corey Nelson. But many people have heard the rumors about him having an amateur career at middleweight, and I'm here to show you. Here's the proof. Here is a photo of middleweight Volkanovski against another middleweight. This man was extremely undersized. He actually wins this fight by brutal KO, though, just to show, fucking Volk can beat any man. It doesn't matter the size of the man. Volk will fucking give him a go. Volk just amazes me. That middleweight, welterweight, lightweight, then featherweight. And when he first debuted in the UFC, he was talking about going down to bantamweight, which, luckily he didn't do that, because I don't think that would be healthy for him, personally. But it would be crazy just for him to be able to say he fought at 5 different divisions. But I'm glad he never ended up going down that bantamweight route, because he is fucking OP at featherweight. And yeah, it's good. It's good that he stays there. I mean, even at lightweight, though, he's still a killer at lightweight, so it just shows what this man can do. But anyway, enough ranting about that. Now we move on to Mike Malott. Now, Mike Malott means he's had grappling matches at 185. So he's like, he's not a small welterweight, 6'1", lean guy, muscly. He used to be a fucking featherweight. Like, he actually lost to Hakeem Dawodu at featherweight. And it just shows that nothing in this sport makes sense. How this man managed to make it down that low, I do not know. Because he is not a small welterweight by any means. Like, he looks big out there as a welterweight. Like, he's muscly, he's 6'1", like he's tall. And he was, 24 years old making featherweight? Like lightweight, I wouldn't even picture him as a lightweight. But the fact that he made it all the way down to featherweight generally perplexes me. Like, I can't explain anymore how. Like this, he could generally fight at middleweight and like have a good run at it. I reckon. Like he could win some fights at middleweight. Like, I don't know. Nothing about this sport makes any sense. And now we move on to a heavyweight contender who, well, he's on quite the run at the moment, but a lot of people know he used to be a light heavyweight. A fair few less know that he used to fight at middleweight, where one of his losses was actually at middleweight. Actually, maybe both of his losses were at middleweight. Let me just double check that. I know he got knocked out at middleweight, which you could definitely blame on the weight cut. It's a big weight cut down there. Yeah, his two losses were at middleweight, but here's something not a lot of people know, but Jolton Almeida, actually, he used to be a welterweight, a 170-pounder. He used to fight at 77 kilograms. Now, just take that in for a second. Look at the man. He is fucking shredded at heavyweight. He's 6'3", muscly guy, big guy, and he used to be a 77-kilo fighter. Like, he fought at the same division as AJ the Ghost Fletcher. Like, just put that into perspective. Look at AJ Fletcher. He fought in the same division as Colby Covington. Like, it doesn't compute. Like, to look at the guy and imagine him weighing in at 170 pounds just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, the fact that he's a heavyweight's insane. But he's actually succeeding, and he's a former welterweight. Like, that isn't impressive. It just shows, I guess, the skill difference that he used to have a welterweight skill set, middleweight skill set. Just shows the big difference. Like, he's a pretty undersized guy at heavyweight compared to everyone else, but he's fucking dominating them all. And it'll be like, think about this: Curtis Blades, who is a massive heavyweight, is about to fight a former welterweight in his next fight. Like, that is just insane to think about. Just as soon as I found out he was a former welterweight, I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't stop thinking about imagining what he looks like. I couldn't find any photos of what Almeida looked like at welterweight, but I cannot imagine him looking like what Overeem looked like at light heavyweight. I just imagine him looking really, really lean, like probably no muscle at all. Because, yeah, I don't know. There's no other way I can imagine that man as a welterweight without him having to trim down all his muscle. Because the man is shredded. And, yeah, he just ragdolls these heavyweights. So if he would have stayed at welterweight, it would have been interesting to see how his skill set would have been. And now we move on to a former, well, not former, he's still a welterweight because he didn't make weight for his last fight, but he was going to move down to lightweight in his last fight, but he ended up having complications making the weight, which is fair enough because this man used to be a light heavyweight. I'm talking about Pete Dead Game Rodriguez, who many people know for taking a short notice fight against Jack Della Maddalena, and then also for knocking the absolute shit out of Mike Jackson, like brutally knocking him out with a knee, like just yeah, he beat Mike Jackson like Mike Jackson owed him money or something. He kneed him in the dome and just fucking unloaded on him. But yeah, this man, he used to be a light heavyweight, and I just I don't get it. Like, I honestly don't get it. How did he do it? Because he is he's not even like a big welterweight, and the thing is, he wasn't like, he was actually winning at light heavyweight. He was getting knockout wins. Like, he has light heavyweight power. That's why I didn't agree with everyone who, after Della beat him, like, they were all saying that, you know, Pete's like a bum and like he's not good. Like, how can you say that? Like, this he's like the Jared Cannonier of welterweight, and which is funny because they actually trained together, I believe, at the MMA lab. But he literally brought down light heavyweight power to welterweight, and I was really hoping that he would have made lightweight when he was going to fight Natan Levy, because that would have really been interesting to see if his power transitioned down. That, like, could you imagine light heavyweight power at that low of a division? Like, he would be he'd be very similar to Michael Chandler down at that division, I reckon. But yeah, I guess it wasn't to be. Hopefully he gets a fight soon, because he's like an entertaining fighter. Like, I don't know, he's just I'm a big fan of him, even though he fought JDM, who's one of my favorite fighters. I became a fan of him afterwards, mostly because he knocked out Mike Jackson. But it just, I don't know, his style is pretty fun, and he's like a pretty good action fighter. So I hope he gets another fight. Hopefully he gets a fun fight. Hopefully he gets a win, and yeah. But yeah, the man used to be a light heavyweight, middleweight, even welterweight. He's not even the biggest welterweight. And if he can make lightweight eventually, if he can cut it down all right and everything, I reckon he could be a problem at that division. But yeah, thanks for listening. This is something that interests me, is all these fighters who move down divisions and who used to fight at real low divisions you wouldn't expect. It just, yeah, generally it is insane to me that people can do that to their bodies and can change and fluctuate weight like that. Like, this is like something I'm really passionate about when it comes to MMA, is different weight classes, like people fighting at all these different weight classes. Because it's never really made sense to me that people can change that many weight classes and then they can succeed as well. So yeah, thanks for all those who listen to this video. I'll even if nobody ends up watching these, I'm gonna keep making them because I love making content about this. Because it just brings me joy making videos. I love talking about. I just love talking about fights, MMA, UFC. It's just it's just a great thing for me to do. I'm very passionate about this sport. I'll make as many videos, and I don't care if nobody's listening. I'm gonna keep making these videos, and hopefully, eventually, I'll get some regular viewers. But yeah, you know, nobody really cares at the end of the day. But I enjoy making these, so I'm never gonna stop making these videos. Even if I have to make like 100 a day before I get like 10 views, I don't care. This brings me a lot of joy. So yeah, thanks for anyone who was listening to this. Sorry I went off on a little rant there, but yeah, thanks for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell me if you want me to make a video, if anything you want me to talk about, because I will talk about anything fight related. Like, fighting is all I think about. I love it with a passion. Like, thank you. Yeah, thanks for all those who listened. I appreciate it. Catch you. Bye.